All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the show. This is the very first pregame show. I'm super excited about this. I have making an attempt at improving the content and the quality of my stream. So I decided to add this because I also wanted to add some stuff to YouTube. So I figured, this would be a nice way to do both of those things at once. So a little bit about the pregame show. The pregame show is a show that I cover all the latest gaming news from this week, maybe even beyond if it's still a hot topic, and kind of go over that. I got a couple of special guests with me on the show. They're going to chime in on some things too. So if you see anything or hear anything that you're interested in and you want to chime in, feel free to do so. That's highly encouraged because, the more we get the conversation going, the better. So up on the top, there you go. That side is the pregame show list. Those are the list of topics that we're going to go through one by one. The top four are the main topics that we're going to cover. And then the last three are just a couple of announcements that we're going to make just in general. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the first topic. Tfue and Faze. If you've been anywhere on Twitter, YouTube, or any gaming website, you have heard of what's going on. So a little bit of backstory. Tfue sued Faze, states that the contract he signed is oppressive and illegal and that they're in violation of the California's Talent Agency Act. Now, I am no lawyer in any way, shape, or form, so I'm not sure exactly what law he's violating. I tried reading up on it and I got confused by a lot of big words, but the gist of a contract has been released. I can't remember. I think it was called The Blaze is the website that released the contract. So we have been able to get a look at that. So now that we've been able to get a look at it, we got to see how much they're actually money they're allocating towards Faze and how much they're actually allocate that Tfue gets to keep. And on that topic, I got two people with me, Necro Mercenary and Dork296. They're both streamers on Mixer, and they've joined me on the show today. What's going on, guys? How you doing today?
Jaym, I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself, man?
Yo, what's going on, Jay? How's it going, man?
I'm doing well. Thank you guys, first off, for being on the show. I really appreciate you guys taking your time. And I know you guys are avid Fortnite players, so I can imagine that you guys have something to say about this. How do you feel pretty much just about him? Like, did anyone see that coming? Were there signs that Tfue was going to turn around and kind of do this?
Man, it's pretty scary, man. Like, orgs keep a lot of things hidden, so nobody knows what's really going on. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff, a lot of contractual stuff that we don't understand, especially as a gaming talent agency. I think those are becoming more popular. I mean, with Faze being one of the most popular ones, if not, I mean, I think Faze Banks has over 1.2, maybe 2 million followers. So, I mean, that's just crazy within itself. Dork, what do you think?
All right, so let me chime in a little bit.
Go ahead.
On this Faze topic. So what I feel about what's going on here is a lot of these gamers, a lot of these I want to say novice gamers who are starting to become professionals. All this is coming into play once Fortnite became a little more popular. A lot of the gaming talent agencies were only tailored to PC gamers, and by PC gamers I mean more of individuals who play a lot of League of Legends, Dota, and stuff like that. But once these console gamers came about and all these new talent agencies came up, I feel like what's been going on is that these companies seem to want to take advantage of these young kids who obviously have no clue what they're getting themselves into, So I guess, and I'm assuming that's one reason why these talent agencies tend to want to take advantage of them. And we're using Tfue, for example. I'm not too sure exactly. I'm not really familiar with Tfue's background. Okay. But I do know that a lot of these companies do tend to take advantage of these people, and these kids or individuals don't really look into the contracts that they're signing.
And that's something that I read a lot of too. On Twitter, when I was reading some feeds, a lot of people stated that after they released a contract that Tfue should have read the contract. Now, did he have a lawyer present when he signed the contract? I'm not sure. Maybe he was just excited that he was going to be part of this organization, this really popular organization, that he didn't bother to take the time to read the contract. Now, I was looking at the numbers, and I'm going to pull up the contract here. So that's the one that he signed. This gives him kind of like a breakdown of what they allocate and what he keeps. And I also saw that he kept a majority amount of the money that he made from doing these things, from streaming and YouTube alike. And there's also another breakdown that they have here. And I'm gonna pull that one up really quick. And I'm not sure if this is legit, but this was on the Blaze, and it says that the brand deals brought in by the Faze clan, Tfue got in 20%, Faze clan got 80%. In-game stickers, merchandise, Tfue got 50, and Faze clan got 50%. Brand deals brought in by the gamer, 50% goes to Tfue, 50% goes to the Faze. Appearance fees, 50-50, and then the prize tournaments, 80% and 20%. So if you're looking at this contract, I say that those prices are actually kind of fair. I don't know what normal contracts are supposed to look like, and apparently there's laws in California that are different from other places in the United States, but those numbers seem kind of fair to me. So looking at this and seeing the comments that they've had, that Tfue was able to keep a lot of the profits that he made from doing this, it seems like it is kind of, you should have read the contract for. And he throws out a lot of strong words like oppression and illegal and stuff like that. So those are terms that we kind of want to really get defined. But I mean, we'll just have to see how this plays out. But I think you make a good point about, they try to take advantage of these young kids. Not saying that Faze is doing that. I don't know if there's other organizations that have a track record of doing that, but I can see it happening because you got to think, just streamers, they're just super excited to do it. And, you're good at a game, then you kind of think of like the potential that you have, and your head kind of blows up, and you see this agency and you're like, oh yes, I'm going to get signed. I mean, I can imagine that's kind of anybody's dream, so I can definitely see that happen for sure.
Well, let me chime in a little more on this. So I'm not too sure if you noticed, but I want to say the owner, right? I want to be more specific. Let me go ahead and read into this. It's yes, okay. So Faze Clan's owner seemed to dug himself even deeper into a hole after he posted something up on Twitter. I'm not too sure if you noticed this,
okay,
but there's some words I can't really say because it's a little more profane. So
fair enough. Fair enough.
So there's this Twitter post that the owner of the Faze Clan posted up saying that Turner, who's Tfue, if anybody knows who he is, his first name is Turner. The owner kind of agreed on the original contract, it being a little horrible.
Mm-hmm.
But what's happening is that throughout this whole discussion about the contract being bad, over the last year, apparently, the Faze Clan has been offering Tfue a new contract. So they've been trying to dissolve the old contract that the Tfue and the Faze Clan had come up, and try to make some form of solution where there's some form of 0% split.
Gotcha.
So
they've taken strides to kind of amend original contract.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So my thoughts on that. So maybe like initially when they signed up, they thought, he's I think he was only 21 years old. So he's still kind of young. Like I was stating before, you're kind of happy-go-lucky. Maybe that contract was made kind of like in defense of Faze, just in case, he wants to be some like a destructive, I guess, I don't know, but some kind of like fail safe, if that makes any sense. And then they realize that, this is legit. This is gonna go far and stuff, that it has gone this far. Maybe we need to amend it and kind of make things different. So, I mean, that is a good possibility and a good thing to bring up for sure.
So the fact of the matter is that the organization was willing to engage him in one, the contract prior to those attempts at the negotiation. But from what I've known since then, the Faze Clan has released a video that explains the team's attempts at re-signing Tfue.
Mm-hmm.
But before criticizing him, what's been going on is that he himself has been trying to create his own esport organization just after escaping the contract. So I'm not too sure if you're familiar to what's been happening with him creating his own esports. What do you think about that?
Then that's one thing I was actually going to bring up. So that's perfect. Now the contract that states that, and I'm not quoting it exactly, so I may get some things wrong here, but I believe the contract states that he's not allowed to do anything external out of Faze. while he's in contract with them. And I think maybe that may come back to bite him if this doesn't go through the way he wants it to. That he's been actually working on this besides, because I mean, a talent agency is technically owned by Faze.
Okay, so that's true, and but I'm not too sure. Is the contract voided already, or is it still in that, you know?
Now I'm not sure about that point. The only thing that I'm positive about is that this is the contract that's currently under review, or the one that's going to be that they're actually taking to court or getting sued over, is the initial contract, again, for being quote oppressive and illegal. So that's the one. So I'm assuming that's the one that they're talking about. So if it does, I can see them using an argument against Tfue about, you know, him starting his own esports thing.
All right, but see, so here's the big deal though. Tfue to Face Clan is like LeBron to the NBA. You know what I mean? And the Face Clan is going to want to do almost anything just to try to get Tfue to stay with them. But
oh, for sure, I agree with that.
Happen.
Yeah,
it's not going to happen. It's not. I don't think it is. I feel that once Tfue just, you know, gets his contract, you know, voided off, I do agree that it's okay if he, you know, he has the money. He's a millionaire. Let's just talk about
it's
that.
not like he's
a millionaire.
Black eyed peas for lunch. Yeah.
I don't know the numbers correctly, but I from what I know, he's making at least $2 million a month. So that's a lot of money, man.
That's crazy. That is crazy amounts. So regardless of how this turns out, I honestly hope there's no bloodshed. And by bloodshed, I don't mean like, you know, he's going to go and punch somebody in the face. But I mean, I don't want anybody too much to get affected by this, because I actually watch, you know, a couple of Faze. Thanks for that share. I appreciate it, guys. I actually watch a couple of the Faze Clan's videos. Faze Banks is one of the major ones that I follow. And he's got some pretty interesting content too. So, and I've seen Tfue a couple of times on Twitch. So hopefully, you know, I hope they can come to just an agreement, so there's kind of no bloodshed at the end, and I think that'll be best for all parties. But regardless of what happens, Faze is going to be fine by themselves, and Tfue is going to be fine by themselves. So either way, let's hope they squash the beef. I don't want to stay too much on this topic. I'm kind of want to move on, but so thank you for your inputs on that one per se.